Hey. Okay, I'm Susan Thomas, one of the librarians at PACE in the New York City campus. And I'm going to show you how to make a very easy zine with just 3 pieces of paper from the printer. So just start out by folding it down the middle. Now I've got like a little booklet. And what I do is I number each page like somewhere consistently, like in this case, the lower right. So number 1, 2, 3, and so on. And then the last page is 12, and that's going to be the back cover. So an example is this zine I made for a class a while ago, actually, called Zine Fests of New York City. Pretty simple cover. You can see I'm not really an artist or designer. I'm more of a collager. So that's what I recommend if you feel like you don't really have a lot of illustration skills. I've got my pages, C2, 3, and so on, so that when I was making my zine, I knew where to put the content. So these are pictures that I just found on the internet, copied and pasted into a Word file. Then I printed the Word file, and then I cut the pictures out and just taped them in here. So let me show you a few more pages. And as I've said, these are just taped in here, and that's so I can move things around if I need to. These are a couple people from the People of Color Zine project, and that's part of my zine. I wanted to include some of their material from their website. That's what I did right here. It's sort of like this column form. Then I've got a picture of the 2012 Brooklyn Zine Fest and somebody tabling there. When you hear tabling at a Zine Fest, that means the person made a bunch of zines, usually, and they're tabling. That's where they're going to sit and sell them or trade them with other people. It's a highly social environment, very pleasant. People are very open to meeting each other, and actually a lot of people have developed deep friendships and even relationships through the zine community. So then I go on a little bit more. I'm doing some word processing here. These are my own thoughts. So you can see there's a combination of some handwriting and just some word processing. And then because I was demonstrating this for a class, I included a works cited page at the end because they had to. They were doing a zine about a neighborhood in Brooklyn. So this is pretty unusual in the zine world. But, you know, it's an interesting alternative to a research paper. And I did some research in the course of making this zine, and the websites that I visited are listed here. For example, the People of Color Zine Project, even a scholarly database. I found a New York Times article in there. I listed Flickr a couple times, and the Wall Street Journal even had an article about Brooklyn College's zine collection. So you can see that it's not super hard. The hard part actually is after this, where you need to find a Kinko's or an Office Max or something like that and ask the person to help you make photocopies of this original so that you can compile them together into something that looks like this. So this is the original. This is the actual copy of a different zine. This is a fanzine about the 80s band Bananarama called More Truth, Love, and Honesty, which is one of their songs. But you can see this, again, this is very simple. They've just, it looks like they've printed out some emails, and they've done the same thing that I did for their copying and pasting images from the internet. I mean, you definitely want to give credit, you know, where you found these images. It doesn't always happen in the zine world, but you should, absolutely. And then this goes on. This is actually much longer than mine. And what's the end of it? The back is the lyrics to one of the Bananarama songs. So this is the copy that you would get from, like, say, Kinko's or Staples or something like that. All right, good luck, you guys, making your zine. And by the way, some people might choose to make the whole zine online without doing the, you know, printing a Word document and then cutting images from it and taping them. What I've showed you is like the very old school way of making a zine. But some people will make the entire zine on a computer, and it might look a lot more, you know, professional that way. Here's one about the musician Yoko Ono that a friend of mine made. And I'm almost certain that besides this part, this was all done on the computer using a particular format that I can't really get into right now, but you can actually format Word so it will be in this horizontal layout. I just find it more complicated to do it that way, honestly. But if that appeals to you, you should give it a try. And here's the back cover of this particular zine. All right, good luck.